My name is Steven, and I'm going to be walking you through this session today. Before we begin, I have some information for you, and I'm going to read it just to make sure I cover everything. You probably already have a good idea of why we asked you here, but let me go over it again briefly. We're asking people to try using a website that we're working on so we can see whether or not it works as intended. The session should only take about 20 minutes. The first thing I want to make clear right away is that we're testing the site, not you. You can't do anything wrong here. In fact, this is probably the one place today where you don't have to worry about making mistakes. As you use the site, I'm going to ask you as much as possible to try and think out loud, to say what you're looking at, what you're trying to do, and what you're thinking. This will be a big help to us. So for example, you could say, I'm looking for this, I think this is doing this, and I'm clicking on this because I think this will happen. For example, basically just try and give your thoughts to us in words. Also, please don't worry that you're going to hurt our feelings. We're doing this to improve the site, so honestly, we need to hear your honest reactions. If you have any questions as we go along, just ask them. I probably won't be able to answer them right away since we're interested in how people do when they don't have someone sitting next to them to help, because we're testing the system, the site. But if you still have any questions when we're done, I'll try to answer them as well as I can. And if you need a break, you probably shouldn't because it's only 20 minutes. You may have noticed the microphone or the phone that we're recording you on. With your permission, we're going to record what happens on the screen in our conversation. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Great. The recording will only be used to help us figure out how to improve the site, and it won't be seen by anyone except the people working on this project and doing this homework, and the TAs and the teacher. And it helps me because I don't have to take as many notes because I'm lazy. Also, there are a few people from the web design team during the session in another room, which they're not. If you would, I'm going to ask you to sign a simple permission form for us. It just says that we have your permission to record you and that the recording will only be seen by the people working on the project. Great. All right, so you can see we're here at this neutral site. And before we get started, I actually want to ask you a couple of questions.
Go for it.
So what is your occupation, or what's your job right now? What do you do for work?
Head Information Systems TA.
Oh, interesting. And what do you do as the head Information Systems TA? What are you in charge of? What are your daily tasks?
I just coordinate tasks between the other TAs and do everything else a normal TA does.
Cool. Okay, and on average, a day, how many hours do you spend on the internet?
Four.
4? Okay. And from those 4 hours, let's just break it down. Is most of that time spent, or how much of that time is spent doing tasks, or is task focused versus browsing and social media?
Probably 3.5 of it.
Is task focused,
Yeah.
and then the other half an hour is browsing social media.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then is most of that on your on an actual computer, like a desktop or a laptop, or is it mostly on a phone?
It's probably equally spread, actually.
Okay, cool. Great. So now we can move over to the site that we're going to be testing. So this is the site that we're going to be testing. Obviously, it's Pizza Hut's site. So we have a list of tasks that we will be reading over. And like I said, it would help the most if you could just think out loud. Just tell us exactly what you're thinking as you're doing it. And basically from the beginning, we want you to just give your opinion about everything that you see, everything you click on, what you think will happen when you click on it, and we'll go from there. All right, so the first thing I would like to ask you is, what is your first impression of the page?
It's pretty clean. It's not really cluttered.
Yeah.
But the transitions are moving really fast.
Okay. And so kind of keep that in mind, the cleanliness, or trying to keep that focus of what your impression is of the page as we go through the tasks. So the first task we would like you to do is to start an order.
Okay. I think when I click on this, it will help me start a new order. Then it gives me another option to choose delivery or carryout. I don't like paying for delivery, so I choose carryout always.
And then we'll have you enter the 84602 zip code.
this box is obviously labeled zip code, so I put my zip code there.
And then find the nearest store.
Okay.
Great.
And yeah, the button said find store, so that was kind of a given.
And then you can select whichever store you would like.
This one's closest.
Okay, now your next task is to custom create a pizza. So it's not a pre-configured pizza, it's not just pepperoni, but you gotta custom make it with 3 different ingredients.
So I would have expected that button that I just pressed to take me to something to order, and now it appears I'm back on the same page. So I'm going to make a pizza, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to click the pizza button. Oh, sounds so good. And then it needs to have 3 different... Going?
Yeah.
So after I clicked that button, I thought it was going to take me somewhere where I'd actually start making a pizza, but it didn't. So now I have to click another button to get my pizza. Working. Reload the page, maybe that'll do it. There we go. Okay. Then we go to create your own. That's pretty good.
And again, it has to have 3 ingredients.
Okay, so just because I can do that extra. I like pepperoni, and I like chicken, and I like bell peppers.
Okay, so now we need you to go to checkout.
Okay. Does that count as an ingredient?
I don't know. You can have more than your 3 ingredients.
Well,
it's really up to you.
Okay. So I noticed this little checkbox, and normally wouldn't get extra cheese because I figured I already did it, so I would probably uncheck that. But then I see, oh, it changed it back to regular, so I have to check a box, and they do the same thing, but they're in weird spots. Okay. Okay. So then view the order. Okay. Didn't know where I was supposed to go.
Yep, okay, so now we would like you to return and change the size or toppings of your pizza.
Okay, so the edit button is kind of small, but that's where it usually is on other websites, so it makes it a little bit easier, but not everybody knows that. So definitely gonna put some of this good stuff on there. They have flavored crust. Sweet. Add some meat. Everyone likes meat.
So one thing you may want to do is go to home. Sorry, go back to my notes.
Yeah, that's good enough. Best pizza ever.
And then go to checkout again.
So
and go to the point where you're about to pay.
Okay. Oh, about to pay.
Yeah, where you're about to put in your credit card information.
Well.
So you just kind of go around just looking. Yeah. Is that what you said?
No, I don't want to make an account.
That's perfect. And then we're good.
Okay. Done.